All right. Hey, everybody. It's Mike P. here with another episode of the Asset Champion podcast. I am so excited you decided to join me today as I am bringing you a first-time visitor to this program and someone I met just recently, but I have so much in common with, and I feel like I've known her forever. We have had a chance to chat before this conversation. And as I promised you, I wanted to bring some stories, amazing stories of facility management and asset management leaders who have been in the business for a long time and have had a journey, their own hero's journey, and bring those stories to you as a way of inspiring you and hopefully connecting you with someone else who is doing what you do here in 2026. So everybody, please welcome to the show the manager of service and process for Caltech, the university in beautiful Pasadena, California. Her name is Kari Myers. Kari, welcome to the Asset Champion podcast.
Thank you, Mike. I'm so excited to be here and talk about assets.
Assets, facilities, the built environment, universities, Caltech.
Yes.
Kari, that's amazing. But your story is so much more than your time in California, which is what, about the last 10 years or so?
A little more. 2012 is when I got here took the long drive on what we call the 10
The
from
10,
Tallahassee all the way to Pasadena.
all the way across the country. That's right. You started in Florida, Florida
Yes.
State, go Seminoles. I'm a
Go
Virginia Tech
Seminoles.
Hokie. For those watching on YouTube, I'm actually wearing a VT jacket today. Not deliberately, but we have a history. You know, we played for the national championship in college football. I think we were figuring it out. It was about 1999, 2000, the national championship game. That was when Michael Vick was our quarterback, brought us to new heights. And of course, Bobby Bowden and your Florida State team humbled us quickly on national television in front of the world. Do you remember this?
I do, and in several championships and lots of near misses. It was quite a time growing up in that era of Seminole fandom,
Sure.
and
And you still
still
hold
am
on to
today.
those. Yeah, I was going to say you're
Yeah,
still a fan, as I am. I'm excited about the upcoming season. We have a new coach, Kari. James
congratulations.
Franklin, former Penn State coach. But this is not a podcast about college football. It's a podcast about asset management and facility management. And your journey took you across the country with a stop in Texas before getting to California. Is that right?
Oh, Texas was just my online experience. So I did attend the
Okay.
University of Texas at San Antonio for a bit.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yes,
Virtually, you stopped in Texas.
virtually. Yes, it was wonderful to get an education in Los Angeles from Texas without having to drive anywhere.
So you've been in LA for 12 years or so. I'm here in Washington, D.C., Pasadena, beautiful Southern California. I actually have snow on the ground here as we
Whoa.
are hurrying spring along, trying for that change of seasons. What's it like there for you, living in is it north of LA, I think, northeast LA, Pasadena? And it's just like, in my mind, this is the home of the Tournament of Roses parade, the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all, as Brent Musburger used to say. It's like, it's iconic and it's a beautiful area, and you get to work there at Caltech. Tell everybody a little bit more about your role as part of the facilities team and as manager of service and process. I'll give a little spoiler, everybody. In Kari's LinkedIn profile, it says you're a service-centered leader, which I love. And then you say from asset intelligence to institutional impact. I love that. Tell me what you mean by it.
Okay. Well, first of all, it's a sunny day in Pasadena, as almost always, about 75 degrees, and there are roses everywhere. That's why we get that
Ah,
name.
beautiful.
And I love campuses. I came from the Florida State campus. I worked there for many years, and then Caltech's campus called to me from another industry. So I wasn't an asset manager always, but they were really interested in doing asset management and implementing an integrated work management system. And I had the Angelino dream of living and working in the same neighborhood, like everyone does,
I love it.
and just kept an eye on that job board. And eventually they were advertising for something they called an asset czar.
Ooh.
So
That's a
that's
title you
that's
should
a
have on
step
your business card.
above asset champion, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's tell me what it means to be an asset czar, or for the context of this podcast, when you hear asset champion, and I am encouraging my audience to be an asset champion, what comes to mind for you?
Oh, it means, providing the place where people are safe, primarily, and productive and comfortable. I'm very interested in the kind of time people are having on the campus, right? So if you step foot on the campus, I believe that you're within my domain of care, and we want it to feel good, look good, and get you to your goal, which is research and education for the most part. And so my
Yes.
job now as manager of service and process, I work from the service center. So the facility service center. This is where anybody can come, open door, to find out information or get connected with some services that we provide. So,
Okay.
primarily, we do a lot of information management, asset management. That's a lot of data, workplace data. How is our workforce performing? Um, Condition assessments, work orders, how are we executing work? All that happens in the service center.
Real world asset management, everybody. And we're going to talk more about it. We're going to hear a little bit more of Kari's experiences and what she views as some of the top challenges and some of the technologies that are helping her to meet the needs of the Caltech University campus. And also, you're involved with IFMA, right, Kari?
Yes, I have been. They helped me so much. The IFMA Foundation was actually, and everybody should do this if you're continuing your education. They provided me a scholarship to go back to school.
Well,
And part of that
that's
program
awesome.
was, yeah, it took me to the World Workplace.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that in a second. No spoilers, because we did meet, or we didn't meet. We chatted about it. We'll share a little bit more about that in a moment. But Kari, I've got to, before I forget, I've been doing these now video versions of the podcast. I hope everybody's signed up and is subscribed on YouTube and getting your opportunities to see my guests in full color, everybody. But if you're listening on the traditional channels on our website or at Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we're happy to have you here as well. These stories are just amazing opportunities for me to share and inspire the audience. So I wonder if you could share an inspirational quote that might help us as we care for our built environment and the people in our facilities.
Absolutely. And I got a new one. I
Nice.
recently attended APA University in Phoenix
Oh,
and had the
cool.
opportunity to go to see Frank Lloyd Wright's West Compound. And this
Ooh.
was engraved on a rock in the gift shop. And it said,
Okay.
I believe that in the search for the answer lies the answer. And what that really spoke to me that day, because, in a world where there are shortcuts for everything, this says go do the thing. Go run into walls, find the closed doors, find the reasons why it won't work, fail a little bit, right? And through that process, you learn so much. And that was the essence of his journey, was learning by doing.
Oh, absolutely. It is the journey that is the reason for it all, Kari. I love that. The goal is certainly out there, and we have a mission to achieve certain outcomes, and we get measured by those outcomes. I experience it here as a podcast host and as part of the team at Aptura, and we're all trying to get to certain, benchmarks and reach certain heights as a service provider or as a interviewer, and as an FM or an asset champion, you're trying to do the same. And it's often the day to day, though, that's so exciting and interesting and ever changing. And I love that quote. So it's in the journey. Say it again one more time.
And the search for the answer lies the answer.
There you go. In the search for the answer lies the answer. So you've helped me already. Thank you so much for that. The other question I like to ask, I've got to do it. DJ Mike P is my nickname. And you know this about me. I love music. So what would you bring to the table as an inspiring song, or what is a favorite artist of yours?
Oh, I have so many. I got my musical education on college radio.
I love it. Yep.
The
Me too.
V89, the voice of Florida State. It's very,
WVT, Blacksburg,
yeah.
Christiansburg, Radford, the home of
There's
rock and
just,
roll.
and there's so much, genre wise, you just get exposed to so much. And then, they really supported an active live music scene. So my favorite music is the music that's playing in my living room by my family and friends or their live shows. But I do love music, and I've been maintaining a facility management playlist.
Ooh, really? Okay,
Yes,
tell
but
me about
I
it.
took a few. Here are my top cuts for facility management and why.
All right. Now I'm
uh,
ready.
Number one, "Don't Let Me Down" by the Beatles. It's
Okay.
the perfect facility song, but I don't think it was written for Yoko Ono. I think it was, written for the electrified guitar equipment. When you're going on
Mm,
stage, you don't want your amp to let you down.
that's
You
true.
need you need no failures there.
Perfect.
But sometimes you want to analyze failure, and that leads me to number two, and that's "Breakdown" by Tom Petty. Right? So
Breakdown. Go ahead and give it to me.
yeah, you
Breakdown.
need to watch the breakdown so that you can analyze why it's intermittently failing. This speaks to facilities too, right?
Get me through the night, Kari. Breakdown. All right. That's great. What else you got?
"Working Man" by Rush.
Oh my goodness. Now you're
It's
talking my
perfect.
language.
So he wakes up at 7 and he goes to work at 9. That's my language.
They call me the working man. That's what I am. Yeah. That's fantastic. Any more or is that it? That's a
I've
great
got
start.
3 or 4 hours,
I was
but
going to say,
I'll
this
share that with
podcast
you
could go on.
offline.
Send me a link. You have it on Spotify or Apple
Yeah.
Podcasts, please, or Apple Music. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll share it with everybody. The Kari Myers Facility Management playlist. I love it. I love it. Well, listen, let's get back to the topic at hand. We do have a short time together, and I want to hear some of your perspectives on where we stand today as an industry. Let's start there. So you've been to World Workplace. You're a member of IFMA. You've got your CFM. Congratulations. That's no small task. And I know how much goes into that. You've got a connection with the IFMA Foundation, and they helped you in your journey for education. So what is it that you would want my audience to know about the power of community and connection that happens at IFMA and how it applies to your day-to-day as an asset management leader?
Oh, the IFMA is the place. If you want to find people like you, somebody there is doing what you're doing. It's the place for connection. I got to see you for the first time in person, but there was a long line. I wasn't able to wait in line to meet DJ Mike P.
Oh, that's nice.
So I
It
kept
must have been.
walking,
I must
but
have been standing. I must have been standing near the bar or the lunch. Expo hall lunch area. It was just people around me. It wasn't people there for me, I'm sure. But that's very nice of you to say.
it,
Well, we
it was a
never met in
wildly
person.
popular session.
You saw me and we didn't actually talk, but you've been a listener to the podcast for a long time. Thank you. And I appreciate hearing your stories because I do this and I've been doing this in the hopes that there are people getting something of value from these shows. And you said you have done that. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. So when I came into facilities, I had not worked in a facilities department. It was very different from being in industry where, we need to move units and return value to shareholders. Facilities isn't that, and especially in the context of higher ed. So for me, it was trying to make sense of the business that we're in. What does this mean? How does asset management play a part in that? So I listened to the leaders that you had on your podcast, and I learned so much. And it was really important for my growth, and it kept me interested. So it was always there on my walk to work. Somebody I
Oh,
could listen to that's doing something great in facilities and giving me some perspective. I felt like I had a lot to catch up on. The people I work with have worked in facilities for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. My first office mate spent 50 years at the Institute.
wow. That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah. So there's so much to learn from these people, and they're so dedicated. Um, so that's what I want to be part of, right? It
Yeah.
really draws me in. I want to be one of those people that knows what I'm talking about and that I can pass it on. So it's really important. Education is part of that, a huge part.
I love it. So many things there. Again, we're aligned with philosophically, Kari. It's this idea of shared information and knowledge and inspiration and encouragement. And you mentioned it. It's my guest. It's not DJ Mike P that makes this show valuable. It's the fact that we do have the opportunity to share the information and expertise of so many great leaders in our industry. And anybody who's been listening for any length of time knows that I have my favorites, of course, those that I lean on time and again, but there's always new voices that are coming to the table. And I have this great privilege and blessing to share those with people like you and your team. And tell us a little bit more about your team for those that maybe are curious to know what it's like to be part of a facilities team at a place like Caltech. How many employees are helping to maintain and operate the facility? And what is it? I'm sure there's many departments that do, but how many buildings do you have on campus that you're responsible for? Is there a fleet? All those types of things.
All of it, yes. So we're an urban campus. So we're bounded by, a shopping district and some neighborhoods. There's about 100 buildings and lots of
Wow.
little, houses used as offices and those kind of properties surround it as well. But the average building age is really old. This campus has been around since 18 something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So our challenge is making old buildings as usable as possible for the most innovative research in the world, right?
Mm.
So we're constantly renovating, bringing in new programs, building new buildings sometimes. So that's our challenge. And we have about 300 people dedicated to that mission. And they are
Awesome.
all unified under, we're helping get man on the moon and autonomous ambulances, Mars rovers. These are the kind of research things that we feel like we're a part of. So it feels like something bigger than facilities.
Yeah, I love that you connected it to the mission of the university and the fact that you have an incredible role to play, you and your team. And FMs everywhere, whatever their particular area of focus or expertise is, I always say, you're making the difference. You're doing the thing that helps to enable these incredible researchers and students that become future leaders to achieve wonderful, amazing things, innovative things. And it's not a small role. It's something we need to be proud of. And often that's not our personality as facility management professionals in the community. It's very, as you mentioned, service centered, and you want to lead from kind of behind the scenes a little bit, but you do have to step out sometimes and share that story. Tell me a little bit about some of the things that you've learned over the years where you want to maybe introduce a new way of doing things or a new technology tool or something where you have to sell your ideas to your leadership, maybe a budget or what have you, and say, hey, we want to do this that's going to help the campus. That's then in turn going to help the world. Any thoughts you could share with my audience of how to do that more effectively and be that asset champion?
Absolutely. So at the heart of it, and I've heard this on your podcast from maybe 100% of your guests, that it's about the people. That's why we're here. And so, our strategy is to improve the customer experience. And we're going to do that through, training, developing people skills, and stuff like technology tools. So we think if we improve our skills and our tools, that we're going to be able to bring a better experience to the campus. So on that, I'm so grateful that we had the opportunity to do a pilot program where we partnered with the Dale Carnegie Institute and developed a customer service excellence training program.
Cool.
And 26 of our folks spent the last year of their lives training about 600 hours in total
Wow.
to get the gold medal in customer service. And we're going to have 100% completion rate at the end of this month. I'm really
Good for
excited.
you.
And that they're learning things about conflict resolution, time management, how to show up for your customer. One of the things that really stuck with me was the HERO method. And the H is
Okay.
for hello, right? So it's how you
Hi.
show up. If you're approachable, if you're making eye contact, maybe if you have a pleasant look on your face and you're not just staring at a phone all the time, then your customer is going to have a certain perspective when they interact with you.
Absolutely.
So that's what I really want to bring lately. And I feel like an investment in your people, especially since we all stick around for a while, right? You
Yeah.
spend your career doing this.
What's
It's
the
going to
other
pay off.
acronym? What's the other letters of the HERO stand for? Do you know?
Yes. um, but we'll get back to that one.
Okay. Okay. Um,
But we also talked about tools, so let's dig into that one a little bit. And
yeah. I mean,
and
that's great.
I'm a technologist. I love the apps, the internet. Do you remember before the internet?
I
I do.
do. I'm old enough, Kari, to remember. Believe me.
Same, Mike. But since we got it, we're very, drawn in, and it's personalized, and it's, tailored to things that make you distracted, maybe happy, right? But it doesn't give
Yep.
you community necessarily. So that's why I'm really focused on the people thing. A funny story, I was sitting on campus the other day and I saw all these people walking through staring at their phones. And they would walk
Mm,
down one sidewalk and come down another way, and it looked like they were lost. So I approached someone and I said, "Can I help you find something?" And he said,
okay.
"Yes, Pokemon."
he was he was searching for Pikachu.
He was searching for Pikachu. I thought he was going to walk
Which is
into the
okay.
road.
And that's the thing I'm learning, and maybe you can relate to this, that we have different experiences. We all do. Different, generations have different engagement experiences with other humans, with technology. And I'm one to, as you are, a technologist. I like to embrace new things, like to learn new things. You've already encouraged us to be taking courses and going out of your way to learn how to be a better leader, a better teammate, and understand the Dale Carnegie principles of how to win friends and influence people. Those are the timeless human emotional intelligence type tools that we all need going forward. And yes, we need to also learn the technical side and what AI can do and how we can leverage data and use these systems most effectively to get the outcomes that we're looking for. But I love that you've emphasized the human side, the people, and then the fact that there are different experiences happening. I'm not one to say, hey, we all need to go back to the way I did it or the way you and I did it when we were growing up. There are things there that we don't want to lose. Some of the great in real life experiences we get at World Workplace now. And at the time this podcast is being published, I'll be headed to, or maybe right around the time I'll be at Facility Fusion in San Francisco. Will I see you there, or is that one off your radar?
It's off my radar.
Okay, but I'll see you at World
in
Workplace,
Anaheim.
right? World Workplace
Yes.
is in Anaheim in, I want to say, October, November.
Yes.
We don't have the dates. Look it up, everybody. Google IFMA World Workplace 2026. And Anaheim is literally just the other side of LA. It'll only take you about 5 hours to get there. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that long a trip.
Probably.
But I'll be at Disneyland too. We'll talk about that offline. But I love this community. I love the in real life connections. I love encouraging people that have different personality types to kind of get out of their comfort zone and maybe do something, or encourage them to, hey, come with me, come here, come with me. And it's a surprise. Remember that meme? Anyway, let's come and do some stuff together that will help us navigate whatever comes next. I've talked too much. Agree, disagree? Tell me what you think, Kari.
I agree. And, the E is for empathy.
There you go.
It
Empathetic
takes me a minute.
leadership,
Yes.
emotional intelligence, all that stuff. Great, great messages. I'm looking at the clock. Why does the time go by so fast when we just sit down to talk? We have talked a little bit before, and it seemed like it went by fast then. Thank you for doing this. Before I let you go, I have to ask one more question. And this is kind of the big one. I love to hear what you would offer my audience in the way of practical advice. You've already given us many things to think about, but what would your final thoughts be as we head into the future of caring for the people and our built environment together? What would you say, Kari?
I mean, investing in your people is always a safe bet, right? They're the ones that are delivering the real value to your organization. And, this is something that my team is going to speak more about at the Society for College and University Planning at their national conference and their Pacific Regional Conference. So come listen to us talk about the human and the machine, the role that people are going to play, and the role that our expert systems are going to play in college planning.
I love it. We will do that. And I hope everyone who is listening and watching us will reach out to you and thank you for being on the show and learn more about the work you do. And next time we're together, hopefully in Anaheim at World Workplace, no matter how long the line, in fact, using a Disney reference, I will hand you right now a lightning lane to come see DJ Mike P. And I want to make sure we say hi in real life. But in the meantime, this has been fantastic. Kari Myers, thank you so much for joining me here on the Asset Champion podcast.
Thank you so much, Mike.
And thank you, everybody, for watching, for listening. I hope in some small way we have given you something to think about and that you're finding value in these conversations. If so, please share this podcast with a colleague or a friend. Both the video and audio versions available, and I hope you will take advantage of all of them. And I hope in some small way we have encouraged and inspired you to be an asset champion. Peace out, everybody.